What is going on, Big Blue Nation? Will Turpin, UK superfan here. On today's video, we're going to do a little preview for the UK versus Georgia Tech tilt on Sunday afternoon. Of course, our Cats coming off a couple of tough losses where we really couldn't hardly hit anything from long range. Haven't hit anything from long range for the last couple of games. And we're going to go against the Georgia Tech team that finished last season really, really strong and actually had a winning record in the tough ACC last year and brought back a lot of most of the key pieces off that team, actually. And we'll get into their roster here in just a minute and kind of look at the matchups. But Josh Pastner, comes into this season they have a lot of expectations. Josh, you'll probably remember him. He actually took over at Memphis when Coach Cal came here to Kentucky. He's now down at Georgia Tech, and they do have high expectations this year. Now, they've gotten off to a tough start. They played a couple of really good small schools, local schools there. Mercer and Georgia Southern both have veteran teams, and played a couple of really good games and had a chance to win both of them. And for whatever reason, they had a bad defensive lapse in the second half in both those games, and they ended up losing them. So actually, some people may look at this and say, oh, that's an 0-2 Georgia Tech team, but, there's some things we have to take into consideration here. We're going to Atlanta, and when we figured, when we first put this game on the schedule to go to Atlanta, we were thinking, we were going to have a lot of Kentucky fans down there. They don't call it Catlanta for nothing. But, now there's going to be nobody in the stands, so that negates any impact that, our fan base traveling can impact the game. And then the other thing is Georgia Tech's just desperate, they've got a good team, and like I said, we'll get into all that here in a minute, the matchups. But, when you're playing against a team that's desperate, that can be a dangerous thing. And, from our standpoint, we're thinking, golly, we've just got to hit some shots. And figure out a way just to start scoring the ball, because defensively, we're as good as anybody in the nation right now. Nobody's talking about that, but we're right there in most of the defensive metrics. We have Kansas to under 30%, so it's hard to lose a game when you hold the team under 30%. You got to do a lot wrong, and most of what we did wrong was just basically not hit shots. But it's one of those things, and we talked about it a little bit in the recap video the other day. Even last year's team, that had experience coming back and shot free throws well, that team got off to a rough start. If you think back last year at the beginning, and then, by the time, before the season got canceled, we were playing as good as anybody in the nation. We won the SEC, which was tough last year. We won it by 3 games. And we really came on, but you don't know from what this team's going to do. This team could very well not live up to expectations, and they could very well, in 6-8 weeks from now, look like a team that's just going to go gangbusters on the NCAA. So, and make a run at it in March. So you just don't really know. We just kind of follow it and keep kind of hoping we see a little bit of improvement. But like I said, this is a game. I think Kentucky can win this game without playing their A game, if they're playing that kind of defense. But again, you can't shoot the percentage that we've been shooting and expect to win at all. Really, we were lucky to be in that game against Kansas the other night. But we'll get into this a little bit here. Georgia Tech, like I said, 0-2. They're coming in desperate. They're gonna leave it all on the floor here. They don't want to go 0-3. And they've had, the other thing is, I think they've had like 10 days off to get ready for this. So, it's a situation where, Kentucky, got to travel down there, and we got to put a good performance together. And start off right there, Jose Alvarado, 6 foot, 179-pound guard. He's a senior. He does have experience. He's a very capable shooter. But this is a scenario, though, where I think Kentucky's length ought to really help them. It really should. Michael DeVoe, he's the other 6'5" guard, 197-pound junior. Those guys do have great experience. And they're probably the 2 best three-point shooters. All 3 of these guards, though, are capable of getting hot. and making shots. So we've got to let our lengths shine here. That really needs to be, I mean, really, I feel like if we don't allow them to shoot a good percentage from three-point range, like something insane, then I really think we'll win the game. Honestly, I'll go ahead and put that. That's going to be in the next video tomorrow, the keys to victory. But that's going to be number one at the top of the list, is not allowing, because I really don't see a path to victory for Georgia Tech in this game other than Kentucky possibly shooting as bad as they did the last game. Or Georgia Tech, having a monster game from three-point range. But DeVoe and Alvarado are certainly capable of getting hot. And if you see shots going up from long range, it'll probably be those two guys firing them up. Next, they got a 6'7" wingman here, Jordan Usher, 213 pounds, a senior, really solid player. Came on strong towards the end of last year. He's really not super flashy, but he just gets in there and gets it done. It'll be an interesting to see how they match up, because if you look, DeVoe and Usher, they do have enough size there to be able to match up with Clark and Boston. But I'll get over to the Kentucky side and how I think we can attack this Georgia Tech team here in a minute. The next guy is the guy that's really been the standout so far. And, we're going to need to hold him in check. Like, we can't let him do no 25-15 type stuff against us. And I really don't think he will, but he's played really, really good. But Georgia State and Mercer, neither one matched up very well with Moses Wright. And he did put up some monster games. Excuse me. But, he's very capable. I mean, 6'9", 233 pounds. I mean, he's going to be a load down there, and he knows how to play. He's a real intelligent ball player. And, right now he's playing at a really high level. But, again, I don't think he faced up against anybody to the caliber of what we have defensively waiting for him underneath the rim. And on down from there is center Rodney Howard. Now, he's 6'10", 241-pound sophomore, and what I've seen out of him so far is he's not a very versatile player. He's still kind of raw and developing, but he is a load down there, 6'10", 241, but he's not real disciplined. I've looked at the tape. He falls for pump fakes. He jumps in the air. He commits a lot of silly fouls, and honestly, that's kept him from getting more minutes. And I think this is the kind of guy that, really Olivier Sarr really should be able to take to school. So I'll be really curious to see how that matchup plays out for Kentucky. And, and then next up we have a guard. And they do like to play three guards a lot. Bubba Parham is, he's a 5'10", 162-pound senior, another great experienced guy. This is a guy Kentucky's played against the last 3 years. And if you remember 3 years ago, he started for VMI, came into Rupp Arena and hit 10 3-pointers on Kentucky. I don't know if anybody remembers him or not, but yeah, this would have been like 3 years back, I guess. And I think he was maybe even a freshman then, but he came into playing with VMI. I think he hit like 10 threes, seriously. So obviously he can fill it up, and he's actually not shot the ball well early in the year, so that's kind of scary because, he's due to hit some shots, and Bubba's definitely a guy that if he gets hot, look out. He's already shown what he can do against the Kentucky team a couple years ago. So getting over to Kentucky, we haven't played very well at point guard spot, but this is an area where I really think that we can get healthy. I think this is a game where we're going to have to be able to get that ball into the middle. Georgia Tech's probably going to play a lot of zone. Why wouldn't you? You have a significant disadvantage. I feel like defensively with Jackson and Sarr. Wright and Howard really don't match up very well with them at all from what I saw of their defense in their first two games. So it only makes sense for Georgia Tech to play a ton of zone. If you've looked at any kind of tape on Kentucky through 3 games, with all the length that they have, I mean, it just makes sense to muck it up and, try to crowd the lanes, and especially, keeps it, Askew and Clark from penetrating, keeps Brandon Boston from penetrating. And those guys have had a high propensity to turn the ball over. That's what they've done. They've dribbled the ball into traffic and turned the ball over a lot. So, and even when we've played against some zone already this year, we've not done a real good job of actually getting the ball swinging from side to side and making the defense really work hard enough, and we're going to need to do that because there is some ways where Georgia Tech could win the game. I mean, Moses Wright, he's probably going to get 12, 13 points, and he's probably going to get, 8 to 10 rebounds. As long as you can keep him from don't let him have 17, 18 points, 10 or 12 rebounds. And obviously, Parham, Alvarado, and DeVoe, those guys can shoot the ball from three-point range. But if you're length, I mean, we have tons of inches on these guards. I mean, if we can keep these guys in check, we should be able to just, really abuse them on the backboards. I mean, honestly, Kentucky ought to be able to get a ton of offensive rebounds in this situation, and really face little resistance because at some point, Georgia Tech is going to rely on three guards. Howard's probably not going to play even 20 minutes. They're going to play smaller. That's going to give Sarr an even bigger advantage. So, it's going to be really interesting. And I think Cal will have this team ready to go. I think we'll work on it. I mean, we know what the other team's probably going to do. Surely we're anticipating a heavy amount of zone from this Josh Pastner Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket basketball team. And, really, now the thing with Georgia Tech is, and looking at the tape on the first couple of games, is they'll play a variety of different types of zones. So it's not like they're just going to fall in love with one. But the thing of it is they really haven't shown me that they have the pieces in there through the two games to keep Kentucky from just dominating both ends of the backboard. So we should be able to hold them to one shot. And, even if we don't play our best offensive game, I still think, if our length will keep them from being able to do what they want to do best. I mean, they're going to go as far as their guards will take them. And early on this year, they've just not, they just haven't got synced up yet. And honestly, we haven't either. So it's just one of these scenarios where this is such a weird season with no exhibition games. And, some teams look better. Some veteran teams look better, but some don't. It's a really weird thing because I've looked at, I've watched a ton of games, and I see some teams that have veteran players, and they look excellent. You know what I'm saying? And then I've seen other teams even that have veteran players, that have played okay, but you can still see that something's missing, and the season got pushed back too, so it's a little bit of an uncharted territory for everybody with all the protocols, and teams are, haven't had as much 5-on-5 contact. It's been a lot more, one-on-one drills and that type thing. So it just makes sense. It has all the makings to be a situation where some teams are going to look completely different in 3, 4, 5 weeks than what they look right now. And that's the case with Kentucky. So, if they do play some man, I mean, Terrence Clark has a huge advantage. I mean, he should be able to penetrate, get the ball to the rim. These guards here aren't as talented defensively as the ones we have faced against Kansas and Richmond. And, this is a game where, really everybody should be able to get right. Honestly, I feel like that. Just move the ball and let the open guy get the shots. I think Kentucky will knock down some threes in this game. Cal had talked about it in the presser yesterday that, they've been making them in practice, so, he at some point, we're going to eventually get on a little streak here where we hit some shots, and then it'll all sort of level itself out. But, you are kind of what you are. So, after you get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games under your belt, then you can really look at this team and say, okay, is shooting really, really going to be a problem? But after just 3 games, I'm not going to just sit here and say this is going to be the worst shooting team Cal's ever had. I'm not going to do that because it's just too small a sample size for me. Isaiah Jackson, this is a really good spot for Isaiah. Honestly, I mean, really, this has double-double written all over it. He can make a huge impact. Now, Moses, he will work a little mid-range, and Moses Wright will, and he's doing a lot of good things. But that's one of the things is Isaiah's been really good on defense, and I think he can negate. I think he can hold Moses Wright in check, and Olivier Sarr. This could be a game where we do some rim running. I really do believe that because you'll see Georgia Tech play small, and they're going to try to speed the game up, and they're going to try to shoot a lot of threes, and that's how they're going to try to win this game. That's my opinion. I think you're going to see Alvarado, DeVoe, and Parham firing like crazy, and I really think Georgia Tech wants to speed this game up and just try to get as many points as they can and just go off the premise that Kentucky maybe won't hit enough shots to keep up with them. I think that's going to be the game plan from Georgia Tech. I could be wrong on that because I really don't know because they didn't really give us any indication of what kind of style of play they were going to play against us. But that's my guess is they're going to play a lot of zone, and hopefully Kentucky can shoot them out of that zone. But a lot of times teams has a hard time rebounding when they play zone. So, like I said, I think this is a scenario where Jackson and Sarr can have a ton of offensive putbacks and get a lot of easy baskets. And like I said, I think this is a spot. Even though I think Georgia Tech does have some really good pieces, they're going to be a middle of the pack ACC team this year, I do believe. And this can be a good get right spot for Kentucky. Davion Mintz, he's got to figure out exactly what kind of contribution that he's going to make for this team and how he's going to play. So I really would be encouraging to see him play, 17, 18, 19 good minutes in this one. That's what I'm hoping. Coach Cal did say that Jacob Toppin had earned a right to get some minutes. He did provide an energy burst to us in the last game. He's a spark plug, sort of an Energizer Bunny type guy that can just super athletic and jump through the gym, and he did a lot of hustling. Cameron Fletcher, he did a lot of hustling in that Morehead State game, but then he's had 2 games where, that 6'6" frame it wasn't doing it. It really, it just didn't. He wasn't able to get any loose balls, and he couldn't get any rebounds, and we just couldn't play him in the last game. And then the last guy on our list, Keon Brooks, and I still don't know if he's going to play or not. Maybe, I kind of lean towards maybe he'll get his first action of the season, but I don't expect him to play a ton of minutes. But I think Coach Cal would like to get him in there just because, he could assume some bit of a leadership role on this team. I could see that happening, and I've heard from around the team that, he was really trying to be positive with the kids, with the young kids that was coming in and really trying to be an encourager. And, Keon's a good kid. I really could see him, really stepping in and having some leadership for us. And I really do. I expect Kentucky to win this game. I really do Sunday. I think this is a good get-right spot here. It's a solid Georgia Tech team, like I said. And if they come out, really hitting three-pointers, that could be an issue. Especially the way we've struggled. You don't want to get out to some scenario where you're down like 22-9 or something early, and then Georgia Tech's just playing with house money the rest of the way. You don't want to get into a scenario like that. So that's going to be the key to the game to me is Kentucky's guards must stay at home. And they will drive the ball too. I mean, they like to drive the ball. All 3 of those guards like to put it on the floor and get to the rim, but we've got to trust that, our length will cause them enough problems to make it very difficult. And we cannot allow them to get open threes, because that's the scenario where you could lose the game. And, that team gets hot. They're probably going to shoot. I bet they shoot 25 threes at least in this game, maybe more. And, if they can hit 10 of those, they're in this game. So, I don't expect Kentucky to blow them out, but it would be possible. If we shut down the three-point shooting, really crash the offensive boards, like I think Sarr and Jackson are capable of, then, I think this game could get ugly quick. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and say that Kentucky does get right in this situation, and we send Georgia Tech to 0-3, and then get ready for a tough Notre Dame team next. Guys, I appreciate all the support. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps us with the algorithm, gets more eyes on us, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Kind of go on this journey with us this season as we follow our Kentucky Wildcats here, hoping that they can get a little better, maybe show a little improvement. I think we will. I think we'll get a little better. I think you'll see a little bit, you give John Calipari a few days to set and posture on a loss. And, I know it's easy early in the year, especially there's, a lot of noise in our fan base. A lot of people want to hit the panic button here and stuff. And I get it. We did play terrible. I mean, there was no doubt about it. I said it in the recap video. It was really difficult to watch that last game. But, if you're watching on this channel, then you probably bleed blue just like I do. And, we want to see this team get turned around. And we know what Cal's capable of, as a coach. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if, the narrative is completely different in just a couple of weeks. So, like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and check us out. We'll probably have a Keys to Victory video up tomorrow. And then, probably Sunday morning, I'll try to get that up, or late Saturday night. And then we'll go from there, guys. You guys have a good evening. I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye-bye.